They say the factory became haunted after the hour of joy. But the truth is, something was wrong long before the blood reached the hallways. Workers in the lower levels told stories about a presence moving between the walls. They never described a face, because no one ever saw one. Only sounds, metal dragging across concrete, and footsteps that never matched the direction they came from. Most people blamed fear, until the reports started disappearing. And one name kept returning in places it shouldn't have been. Experiment 1006. I'm Phobos. This is the story of the prototype. For the first time, Experiment 1006 stopped behaving like a subject, and began behaving like something else entirely. The researchers noticed the change before they understood it. Its behavior had become unusual. Not violent. That would have been easier to explain. No. The prototype had become selective. It stopped responding to certain commands, ignored familiar routines, and began altering its own patterns without warning. One report described this as behavioral instability. Another used a different word: independence. The distinction frightened them, because instability can be corrected. Independence cannot. The observation teams increased monitoring after that. Longer shifts, additional cameras, more detailed notes. And the notes themselves began changing. Earlier files spoke about intelligence. Later ones spoke about awareness. Researchers wrote about strange interactions inside containment. The prototype would inspect objects it had never seen before. Not with confusion, with purpose. It learned locks faster than expected, recognized repeated faces, and sometimes it appeared to anticipate instructions before they were spoken aloud. One scientist recorded an incident that never appeared in official archives. He entered the chamber carrying testing equipment. The prototype approached the glass. Slowly. Calmly. Then it raised one hand and pointed toward the exit behind him. The scientist later laughed while describing it. A coincidence, nothing more. But according to his report, the emergency alarm sounded less than 30 seconds later. No one ever explained how it knew. After that, many employees avoided eye contact during testing. It sounds irrational now. Fear often does. But people are uncomfortable around things that appear to understand them, and the prototype understood more than anyone wanted to admit. Some workers whispered that it was listening through the walls. Others believed it communicated with the experiments housed nearby. Most denied these rumors publicly, then repeated them privately, because strange things continued happening inside Playtime Company. Entire sections of footage disappeared. Security logs returned altered. Doors opened without authorization. The company blamed technical failures, but machines usually leave evidence. These failures did not, and still, the factory continued operating. That may be the most disturbing part. Not the experiments, not the secrecy, but how ordinary everything remained above ground. Children still visited smiling attractions. Mascots still waved from posters. Birthday songs still echoed through painted corridors. While beneath those same floors, fear was learning to breathe. The prototype watched the other experiments carefully. Perhaps it saw reflections of itself, creatures built for entertainment, yet trapped inside bodies they never chose. Some were aggressive, some confused, and some had already forgotten who they once were. But the prototype remembered, or at least, it remembered enough to understand suffering. One damaged document described Experiment 1006 as possessing an unusually strong interest in the welfare of surrounding subjects. The wording was clinical, detached, but the implication disturbed management, because concern can become attachment, and attachment can become rebellion. The scientists insisted they remained in control. They reinforced containment, updated protocols, restricted access. Yet fear had already entered the laboratories. Employees stopped volunteering for lower-level assignments. Guards requested reassignment. One technician resigned after claiming he heard voices through a ventilation shaft. Not words, conversation, as though something inside the walls was speaking and waiting for an answer. The company dismissed him, officially. Unofficially, they sealed that corridor the following morning. By then, the prototype had already learned something dangerous. Humans were not powerful because they were stronger. They were powerful because they controlled information, secrets, silence, fear. And perhaps that was when Experiment 1006 began keeping secrets of its own. Because the reports grew shorter after that, less detail, more redactions. Entire testing sessions reduced to a single sentence. Subject remains highly intelligent. Further observation required. Nothing more. As though the people documenting it had begun writing for survival instead of science. And somewhere beneath the factory, behind steel doors and reinforced glass, the prototype waited. Not for freedom, not yet. For understanding. Because long before the hour of joy, long before blood stained the corridors of Playtime Co., something beneath the factory had already reached a terrible conclusion. The people who created it were far more frightening than the creature they feared.